Joining me now to discuss this ongoing fight, Associate Counsel at First Liberty Institute, Holly Randall. Thank you so much for being with us, Holly. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we're faced with this question every day, it seems. Why is some speech protected, but not other speech? I think it sort of accurately reflects on how weak our society is becoming, but what's your analysis?
Absolutely. And you nailed it right on the head when you said religious speech is the third rail for administrators. That's something that they're happy to stamp out from their students' private speech, like graduation speeches. And along the way, they tell them hurtful things like, oh, your speech is too Christianized, or, you shouldn't mention anything about your faith because we need to be inclusive, which inherently excludes students of faith. And so it's interesting to see, especially as this time of year rolls around, the new tricks that school administrators are going to come up with. And First Liberty Institute is happy to respond to those as they come in.
Well, God bless you guys for taking the charge here and helping these students who just want to spread the word of the Lord. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. We do live in America. There shouldn't be any issue with that, I would think. But clearly we're living in 2023 under Biden's rule. So here we are. Now, schools don't have the right to censor religious speech in this context. But of course, I think if there were Muslim or Hindu religious texts referenced, everyone would probably be jumping for joy. So why do you think there's this continued attempt to silence Christians specifically?
I mean, I think it's just a reaction to a lot of years of bad precedent. There has been a case called the Lemon Test for many years that was on the books that really encouraged administrators to stamp out religious expression. And if they happened to not like Christian expression, that became the victim. And thankfully, First Liberty last summer won Coach Kennedy's case, which got rid of that Lemon Test and really has consequences, not just in the school graduation speech context or the coach praying context, but just making sure that religion and Christianity can be part of public conversation everywhere. And so it's really exciting to see how that's going to affect things like graduation speeches this May.
Absolutely. Holly, how can students and parents push back to this ongoing censorship issue? As we're talking about, it's happening at graduations, it's happening every day in the classroom. What can be done to fix this moving forward?
That's a great question. As this time of year rolls around and students want to do things like mention God in their graduation speeches or any other school activity, really, if it's appropriate, they should do so. They should feel free to do so. Students don't, shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. And if they receive pushback, we encourage them to go to firstliberty.org. We have a request for legal helpline, and they can get in contact with our legal team there, just like Elizabeth Turner did, or some of our other clients have in these situations. And if they are really proactive and do it quickly, we'll be able to assist them and come alongside them in making sure that they're allowed to say what they really want to say during their big moment on the graduation podium.
Absolutely. No one should fear for speaking their mind or talking about their faith in a situation like this. So I think it's really important that people continue on with that. And if they do encounter any pushback, that they feel comfortable taking legal action. I think that's where we're sort of at nowadays with everything we have going on. So I'm so glad there's people fighting for this. Do you think there would be a world in which schools are completely secular that are consistent with abiding by the First Amendment?
The good thing about the First Amendment is that it does protect all religions. So, if students are speaking in their private capacity, if they're wanting to mention, a religious figure from their particular faith tradition in a book report where it's appropriate, or a school speech where it's appropriate, or, any sort of in the hallways during class, not while the teacher's teaching, but while you're walking through the hallways speaking privately to your classmates, that's entirely appropriate. And, schools are sort of violating the First Amendment if they wish to keep an entirely secular environment and minimize those private conversations and private speech of students.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.